So your ideal woman, let's put it out there.
Okay,
Who
let's
is
put it
your
out there
ideal
then.
woman?
I would say she has nice eyes, like kind of caring eyes.
Like eyes. Oh, warm eyes.
Warm eyes.
Yes, because that is true.
It's important. It's important to the kids, too.
Yes, definitely.
You know, you don't want some cold-eyed, freaking slithering broad,
yeah.
you know, even serving muffins to your children.
No.
So warm-eyed. I would say hardworking.
Hardworking. Sense of humor is really important.
Yeah, sense of humor or the ability to laugh. Even being able to laugh, though, is also like having an inverse sense of humor. Like if somebody's a good laugher, I think it's just as, it's almost better than a sense of humor because at least they're having the joy, you know?
By the way, the hard worker thing I think is really key too.
Yeah?
Yeah, my wife is a very hard worker, and that's great because then you can do less. No, but it is. I mean, we have a similar work ethic. We enjoy working. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't say working. I'm not saying like, hey, let's go grab some construction shifts. Yeah. You know, it's like, you know, it's fulfilling for us. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and life's hard work. It's like if you want to stay in a marriage, it seems like it's a lot of like if you really want anything to work, you got to do it. You know, that's what it seems like.
Yeah. How tall?
How tall? I would say anywhere probably 5'6" to 6'1".
Okay. And how tall are you?
I'm willing to go on the outlier side with the height. I am 6 foot.
You wouldn't care if she was taller.
I don't think I would care as long as she didn't do little things to me, like probably pat me or something like that.
Or call you shorty.
Yeah. Yeah. Or say, hey, give me that little wiener. You know, like things like that.
And what about do you want her to be younger than you, older than you?
I would probably say younger than me. You know, I want her to be able to bear children if she wants to.
Yeah.
But then I got to make sure that I'm in a good space too. You know, I don't want to be some philanderer.
Right.
And I don't want to be a man who's peeking over the fence and, you know, talking to the neighbor's wife.
Right.
And I don't want to be...
you shouldn't be neighborly. You shouldn't be talking even to a neighbor. No, but you're saying, so you want to also be mature. You want to be to the point. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to be doing any more like, I don't want to be do any more conniving or any, like I want to, you know, I just want to be locked in.
Yeah.
Did you have a point where you were like, was it scary for you when you were like, okay, I'm going to get married. This is it. Like, did you have your mom, like who dropped you off to go ask your wife? Or did you drive over there? Or how did you do it?
I was, my mom dropped me off. No, I was at my brother's house. We'd gone back. We used to go back and we'd go to Indiana and then we'd drive through Chicago and go to Milwaukee where my wife's from. And my wife and I, we had this agreement that she was going to tell me when she was ready to be proposed, you know, because, you know, the whole, there's no risk. You don't want them to be like, no. And you don't want you to process no. So, and we had talked about it. We had dated for a while. And I was at my brother's place and we were smoking a cigar in his garage. And I said, you know, I tell you, if I had a ring, I probably would ask her. And he goes, oh, I can give you a ring. I'll give you Mom's old ring. I used it and you can use it. And I was like, oh. And so then.
Man, you're really on the spot.
And I was like, all right. But, you know, again, I had also kind of made that decision. Do you know what I mean?
Right. So the decision had already been made.
Yeah.
Kind of, okay.
You know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh, my brother told me to do it, so I did it. You know what I mean? So, and then we went up there, and I knew that I kind of wanted to surprise her. And so I did it right in front of her entire family. She's one of 9 kids, and we had done opening presents, and I had asked her dad for permission. He was like cooking in the kitchen. He's kind of a great guy, but like at that point we didn't know each other that well. So he was like taking something out of the oven. I was like, hey, I'd like to ask your daughter to marry me. And he's like, yeah, okay. And so then we were opening presents and all the presents had been opened. And then I did it. And it was...
Did you feel nervous? Did you get down on one knee?
It's so... Well, I think as a comedian, there's so many... it's, you know, there's so many awkward situations we go in.
That's a good
You
point.
know, where you have a show where you eat shit. You have a show where you do okay, but you can tell half the audience thinks you're a moron. You know what I mean? So like, it was awkward. It was, you know, it was nice, but I'm also, you know, these watershed moments for me are, they're not nearly as important as, like, you know, the moment where I feel like I really connected with my wife. You know, like my child being born, there was, you know, it was special, but it's not as special as, like, you know, the time when you take a walk with them.
Right.
For me.
And
Do you know
have
what I mean?
some, yeah, and there's like a real connection.
Do you know what I mean? Or like,
right. Those are kind of just built-in tentpole moments that are kind of almost, I don't want to say old-fashioned. They're very important.
Yeah.
But they don't, but that it's not like, it doesn't mean everything.
For me, you know, if I'm being honest.
That's a good point. No, I think it's a really good point for everybody. We put all these it's almost like we put these kind of like tyrannical, like emotional attachments to these moments, even though they might not be there because times have kind of changed. So having a wedding these days, which is really just a huge party that takes so much planning, which is more about the planning than it is even the vows.
Yes, and the unnecessary stress.
Oh God!
Put on,
and
you
the
know,
sangria, all these, you know,
it's just
a
like,
lot.
oh my God, the bread was wrong. You know, it's like, who cares?
Yeah, who cares, dude?
Right?
I barely know this woman.
Who cares? She's pregnant. That's the only reason I'm here.
Yeah, has anybody mentioned that? They should have a vote at weddings, like, should we do it or not? And people have to really vote.
That's funny.
Wouldn't be a bad idea, would it?
I mean, a silent, and because it's also your loved one, so it's a really harsh thing. And you shouldn't be able to open it until the next day. It's like the vote came in. Well, it's like a Rotten Tomato score, like, as long as we get 80%.
Yeah, that's it.
But you're like, 43%. Yeah. That's not good. But what the audience score say?
A lot of old tropes and misdirected plot twists, but
a lot of people don't believe in me. They think I'm going to cause the disaster.
Your family should have a vote. I feel like, because you're bringing that genetics into your gene pool.
Well, yeah,
you know, it feels like the family overall should have a vote.
Well, there's also something that happens where I think you know, it's probably different in different cultures and different family cultures, but you kind of get absorbed. I feel like the men get kind of absorbed into the woman's family.
Yes.
Much more than the woman getting absorbed into them. I mean, obviously
That's a good point. Hope you enjoyed that video, and you can watch another. And you can watch this one, you can watch this one. Different options, different choices. Some guy just brings you one option, not this guy. Two options. Watch one, this one or this one.